Right guys, Mike Crossfield here. We've got Callaway Big Bertha Alpha 815 double black diamond. Could you fit any more words into that name, please? Again, it's Titleist 915 D3. We're going to give these two lowest spinning options from both manufacturers, so from Titleist and from Callaway, a bit of a compare. Let's show you how similar or different they actually are. Let's talk I think a lot about how they look and feel. I think is much more important. I'll be shocked if these are going to go any particular difference in distance, maybe 6 or 7 yards, subject to my performance, which I think lots of you know by now. But let's see what they offer. We've got Titleist Pro V1X balls, we've got GC2 down on the floor as well, so we'll give you some real ball data at the end to show you how they compare. Let's get stuck in. Right guys, Big Bertha Alpha 815 double black diamond, gravity core, weights on the outside, R-Moto technology. So R-Moto technology allowing them to put weights, save weights, make faces stronger in certain places, Callaway is saying. Gravity core allows you to move the weight or the CG higher and lower to try and fine tune spin, and then you've got weights on the outside which will allow you maybe to fine tune a little bit of club release. This is a low spinning head from Big Bertha Alpha 815, a double black diamond. It's their low spinning model, compact head shape, weight low forwards. Interesting technologies with gravity core, I do like it. And you've got a changeable neck on it as well. You want full reviews on these, I've done it. This is more just a match-up video. Lovely little compact head shape with all in black. Then you got Titleist 915, you got Sure Fit hosel, which was revolutionary, and everyone seemed to have come along and copy that, which makes sense if it works, which it does. You've got the action recoil channel on the bottom, which Titleist are proud of, but a visible tech on a Titleist driver, which hasn't been particularly around for a while. There's been tech in them, it's just not been visible. It goes from toe all the way to the heel, which allows the face to do what it should do to maximise ball speeds, la-di-da-di-da, like they all say. It's got the all black finish. It's the smaller headed one out of the two, so again the lower spinning. I mean, these are two clubs that if you want that smaller headed lower spinning from a manufacturer, you should be comparing it and seeing which one performs best for you. So let's give them a hit, see what it feels. Let's go double black diamond 815 Callaway Big Bertha Alpha. First, gotta have a breath before you say that name, haven't you? Down by the ball looks great, sits square. I like the black all over head. It's a smallish looking head, which might frighten some, but I think lots it would excite them because it looks low spinning and like a bit of a beast, to be honest. So let's give it a hit, see what it feels like. It's a nice feel off the face. It makes a reasonable sound. It's not a massive ting. The flight I get on visual looks like exactly what I would want from this kind of club. We are going to compare the real numbers in a second. Let's give it another hit. Like I say, I could really game this club because it does just feel like it's going to go out there like a bullet. Looking forward to seeing what the numbers are like. I think for lots of people, that's a lovely flight. It's that small head that will frighten them, but you've got to remember though, for both of these companies, they make a different head shape, size, whatever you want to call it, more friendlier looking one out of the two models. So that's the 815 double black diamond. I'm not saying all the other words again. This ball doesn't want to stay on this tee. Hello, your job is to sit on that tee and be struck. Yeah, I'm liking that a lot. I like the looks. Very Callaway, true to what Callaway drivers should look like as well, in my opinion. I like that. Titleist 915 D3, action recoil channels. You know, I'm liking this a lot. It's classic looking, it's classic Titleist as well. It's really, you start buying into brands so much with these. Doesn't look as small as that one. It looks a little friendlier now. I put this one down by the ball. It's a black all over, so these clubs are very similar in looking, but you do get the line-up line on the top where you don't in the double Ds. That name could backfire, couldn't it? Here we go, let's give the action recoil Titleist 915 D3 a hit. It's a higher pitch ting, which might turn some off and might turn others on. I'm kind of neutral, I kind of don't care really. I think I've only ever hit 1 or 2 clubs which I've just thought that's very loud, but if I get good numbers and feel out of them, I'd still game them, to be honest. And if you're buying purely on sound, Yeah, I don't think that's the biggest buying criteria, even though it does play its part. Let's give it another hit. It's lovely and square down by the ball. I love sure fit neck. In the way you know if a technology is good from any of these companies is when other companies are producing similar technology. These were the first guys to do this. A real innovation, which is great. That's what these manufacturers, even though they all produce clubs which are so similar, they all do innovate slowly, don't they? And what happens is that all breeds in through all the clubs. So lots of people often ask, oh, can you compare them to, you know, the really duper ones, you know, some of the maybe not so bigger names, which I will do at some point. But without these guys trying to push that envelope all the time, those guys wouldn't have things to imitate too, would they? Which is what you've got to remember with these companies. So let's give this one a hit. Again, it makes that little different sound, that bit louder, looks great. And it's a great looking flight. Loving that. No, I want to see the numbers because I'd be shocked if they're doing anything different. I imagine I would, looking at it without knowing the numbers, because I've not hit them with the real balls yet. I've hit that one with real balls, but in a different day in a different place. The Alpha looks like it might spin a little bit lower, but let's see if it actually does. It just looks like it does, but often looks and kind of what I think a club does plays a part into what I actually see, which is why we measure. Let's check these numbers out. Right guys, numbers time. Callaway 815 Alpha, Big Bertha, double diamonds, double black diamonds, big name, hitting up against Titleist 913 D3. Let's look at, let's go Alpha first, Callaway Alpha, double Ds, averaging 265. Topping out at 274, which is long for me, spinning down at 2-1, 39 yards peak height. I'm hitting the target pretty much with that, which is kind of my doing rather than the club's, I would say. But the double black diamond is quite aggressive with its spin, and it's low in its spin. It's definitely a low spinning club. How easy it would be to hit for every golfer is a question that I'm still investigating a bit more, but the press and the kind of the information that's out there would suggest that it's not as easy as maybe the one we're comparing it to, possibly. But that's a good performing driver. I mean, I think that is performing really, really well at the minute. If we compare that up to the D3, 915 from Titleist, 2.5 spin, but I have got, I would argue, more miss hits in this one, more lower hits on the face. I'm getting a 1.9, a 2.1. But I'm getting a few higher ones on strike, which is all my kind of performance. But look at the yardage, 258 carry. There's hardly anything in that distance. Topping out at 265. You know, it might be for me that I would buy into that lower spin of the double black diamond, because I know when I get that perfect strike higher on the face that I'm gonna get that low spinning 2.7 something carry, which I might not get out as much or out of the D3. But then what I sacrifice in that, trying to find that kind of extra 6-10 yards or whatever it is, I might sacrifice a little bit of control, possibly things like MOI maybe. Again, like I keep saying, MOI is something I'm still investigating. I think we might be getting it quite confused of what it can and can't do for our games, as in a real human environment. I think both of those clubs are doing well. I think if you want to go for aggressive low spin, there isn't going to be many clubs out there that beat the Callaway double Alpha 815 double black diamond. But I mean, when you look down, I mean, I am not going to be a better golfer because it goes 6 yards further. All it's going to give me maybe is a few more bragging rights when I get out on the course vlogs and play, maybe, and keep up with Kevin or get past Lockie or what have you. And because I can control my driver, I've got the luxury. I kind of feel I can put any of these clubs in my bag. But for someone maybe who's got a different buying criteria, looking maybe for control rather than just max distance, you would suggest maybe that 915 might help you a little bit more. But I've got no data to back that up. Double black diamond for me was going as straight as anything else. Two interesting sets of numbers, similar height, similar launches, similar spins, very similar distance, but you would argue on those tests that the double black diamond is just pipping it. I have hit 915 D3 in another video, in the first video I did with it, and this is quite an interesting point, I think, further than those numbers, different to those numbers. So environment, emotion, they're having as big an effect on how these clubs perform than I am. So if I'm pumped, if I'm tired, what I've eaten, what I'm hitting into, downhill, uphill lies, into a net, not into, those kind of things can affect to small degrees as much as any of these clubs can kind of control what happens in there. Get out there, get fitted yourself, go and try and see which one you like the look of, the feel of, the sound of. Those are the things. The double black diamond looks good, but when I look down at it, it looks aggressive. And I don't know if I can game that, as in I know I might get my 275, but if the others are missing the fairway, what's the point in that? I'd rather stay at 260 and keep everything more on the fairway. So I might put it in a gaming environment and see if it actually does as well in the gaming environment and does in a test environment. Thanks for watching, guys. Post comments down below as always. Let me know which one you'd go for and why. Speak to you soon. So if you like what's going on here, don't be afraid to subscribe to the channel. Also thumbs up the video, post comments. Love to hear what you guys got to say. Let's keep it social. The more we talk, the more we share, the easier this game will get for everybody. So if you want to find me on Facebook here, you can find me on Facebook. If you want to tweet me, find me on Twitter here as well. Just follow the links, all in the description. Come and join the show. Get active, get involved, get playing some better golf. Thanks for watching.